Just as she was about to do her business, someone calls her from behind. It was the horny guard. He acts very nice to Boone and tells her to ask him for anything. Boone sees how pathetic he was to try on an inmate. However, she remembers Wu Jeene, who was genuinely kind to her, and maybe she was too harsh on him, and the horny guard walks away from the cell, imagining how it would feel if the prisoners would obey all his orders. However, Sergeant Namchi is right in front, angry at him. Male guards were not allowed in this area, so he might get into trouble. Soon after, Sergeant Namchi escorts Lee Boylan to the new room assigned to her on the way. She is especially angry as the warden is completely under Choi Jr.'s palm. Boylan is now allocated in Jr.'s room. In the middle of the room was the boss Jr. and the others were her subordinates. Inside the cell, as Boylan is introducing herself, Junie stops her and directly asks her how did it feel being violated by the sergeant during the search. Boylan refuses to speak about that matter as she is uncomfortable. However, the situation here is different. One of the inmates came up to her, threw her things away, and punched her right in the guts. How dare she act like this? As the new girl, Boylan was immediately collapsing on the ground. She realizes that this room was going to be another nightmare for her again outside of this door. Wu Jeene had also just arrived there. Even though it was the weekend, he was there because of the warden's request earlier this week to become a driver. Now inside, just as Boylan was about to get more beating from the big woman, the door knocked from the outside as Officer Wu Jeene entered the room. He was shocked to see the situation. Boylan was lying, and she seemed to be in a lot of pain. As he tried to help her and get some medication, the boss, Junie, just came up and told him that it was nothing to worry about. She lied to him that Boylan was just having menstrual cramps. It is normal for women since Wu Jeene had no idea about that. He couldn't detect the lie. Soon, the other young inmate, Unai, came to him and asked him if he was there for her. It was true. Wu Jeene was there to take her outside for some time as the warden instructed him. The Unai was very excited to go and see her mother, so she rushed Officer Wu Jeene to hurry up. The lady officer assured him that she would help Boylan and he could go ahead with the prisoner visitation. As Unai cheerfully left the room, Boylan was disappointed because she was hoping the Wu Jeene would stay and help her. However, she is now alone in this prison. After the officers left, room leader Junie told the big woman to lock Boylan in the bathroom. She had decided that Boylan will be living inside their bathroom from now on. Outside, Unai was actually taken to the warden's office. She is surprised to see all the pretty dresses there, and she was able to choose anyone from there. She was going to get a drive outside. A little taste of freedom because she has been satisfying the warden in amazing ways lately. Normally, the warden should accompany them for the leave, but he was very busy today, so the warden told him to just put her in cuffs and drive her around for a couple hours in the area. The warden has entrusted this job to Wu Jeene because he is a hard worker. Finally, Unai was dressed up and ready to go. They flirted with each other for a bit while Wu Jeene was just standing there like a guard dog. Then they left the prison to go for their drive. As he is driving, Wu Jeene can't stop thinking about Boylan. She was so helpless and she looked at him with such a cute expression. He just hopes that he could help her in some way. While he was busy thinking, Unai from the side called him. She wanted to tell him that he was very handsome. Speaker 1. 3 minutes and 9 seconds. She didn't get to see him quite well the last time they saw each other, as he had his hat on and she was busy with the warden, but now she complimented him about his good looks. He thanked her and asked her, "Are the handcuffs too uncomfortable for you?" Inmate 1598. They were a bit bothering, however. She was still happy as this was her first time being outside after a whole year. Then she cheerfully introduced herself to him and requested him to call her by her name, Unai, while they were outside the prison. It was a little awkward for Wu Jeene, as she is acting weird. She had winked at him at the warden's office, and now she is flirting with him, like she is drunk. She is even intentionally showing him her panties. They were black as he was focused on the panties. There was a deer on the road, and they almost hit the deer. Luckily, he turned the car around, and the deer was saved. They almost crashed as he asked Unai if she was all right. His hands were accidentally on her chests. He quickly apologized for it, as he was just trying to protect her in case of the crash. She sat there silent for a minute and then suddenly called him. She says that she got a little scared just there, so she had to use the restroom. Therefore, Wu Jeene takes the car a little inside the forest and takes her outside near the bushes to do her business. He is going to stay a few steps back so she could have a little privacy. However, she calls him again. She makes a cute expression and says that she really cannot do anything in these handcuffs, so he needs to help her with the underwear. Although it was awkward, it was his responsibility to assist the inmate without taking her cuffs off. So he went to her and took off those panties. As he takes it off, he also sees that she is also leaking already. After a couple of hours, they finally return to the prison. As they approach the gate, Unai suggests to erase the dashboard camera as they cannot get caught. Wu Jeene appreciates that she is so smart. She is careful because that dash camera was how she got caught doing drugs in the first place and ended up in prison. Later in the warden's office, Unai comes outside after changing back to her prison outfits. She might be getting used to this clothing, as it feels much more comfortable than the cute dress she wore earlier. She was glad that her first time going outside was so good. Wu Jeene suggests, "Why don't they make another opportunity to go out again?" But immediately stopped himself as he realized what she had to do to get this chance in the first place. Does he want her to keep pleasing the warden, who is older than her dad? He apologized as he didn't mean to say something like that or offend her. However, she was just kidding with him. Obviously, she was not expecting any form of relationship from with him, but at least the warden gave her a chance to go out with him. It was fun, and she hopes he doesn't mind that she has a little crush on him, as she kisses him on the cheek. Right after Sergeant Namchi came inside the door, she asked him why didn't he answer all her calls, and what exactly was he doing there? Alone with the prisoner? He immediately saluted her, but she doesn't care for his salute. She wants to know what is going on. Unai quickly made an excuse that there was a loose strand on his shoulder, and she only removed it for him. Bocce wants to hear it from Wu Jiene's mouth as he doesn't have a better excuse. He said that it was true. He is still confused if the sergeant saw them kissing or not. The sergeant ordered the assistant officer to take inmate 1598 back to her cell. Unai was a little worried about him as she was taken away from that room. As soon as they left the room, Sergeant Namchi slapped Wu Jeene on the face so hard that his hat went flying. She was furious because she had actually seen the both of them kissing earlier, and he lied. How can he be so weak in front of the inmates and completely disregard her words as she is scolding him? It is too much for Wu Jeene. He also got really angry that she put her hands on him. She provokes him even more and pokes at his chest again and again. She just doesn't stop talking down on him and keeps on insulting him. Finally, he just cannot hold it in and angrily grabs her chest. That made her shut up immediately, and Wu Jeene also took his hands down, but he was still angry. He calmed his voice down and just told the sergeant that he will be quitting now. As she is shocked, he confirmed again that he will be submitting his resignation form on Monday. The sergeant also appears to be in a shock to hear him say this. However, she doesn't look happy either. She actually looks a bit sad on the inside. That is it for part 1. Hi guys, did you like this series? Please hit like on the video. It helps so much if you want to see the second part for this. Please tell me in the comments and subscribe if you don't want to miss any future videos or just want to show some support. Thanks for watching. Till then, stay well.